Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and Commander, this is the Frontline Changes Report. And there is way too much things happened over the past 24 hours. It's impossible for me to, it's not impossible, but no, many of you do want to watch, so no choice, I have to separate this, instead of putting it as part of the SIP wrap. So anyway, there is a lot of frontline change. There is changes over at Ibitske, Novooleksandrivka, Andrievka, Rozdolivka, Kalinina, Robotyne, Novooleksandrivka, Podjeda, Paraskovievka, Konstyantynivka again. Not again. Oh yeah, and Vodian and Robotyne. So quite a number of frontline change across almost all the frontline. We're gonna start off with the Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, there is geolocations. Finally, in the Staritsia region, Ukrainian forces geolocated in these two different locations. This is based on the latest geolocation reported by Military Summaries Telegram channel. And this means that the entire area here is now invalidated, at least for now. There is fighting previously being reported at Ibitske, which is why I have to keep this here. This at least keep this gray zone around here. So, but at least we can now confirm that the Ukrainian forces at some time ago has moved in and taken this area here, putting a lot of possibility that the Ukrainians actually have the entire western part of Staritsia. So anyway, that's the frontline change over at Ibitske. The next frontline change is far away over at Novooleksandrivka at the Sviatove front, at the just south of the Kupiansk area. Kharkiv is there. This is Kharkiv front. And so over at this Novooleksandrivka region, Russian forces geolocated at this junction of the tree lines, confirming that they have expanded their control around this southwestern part of Novooleksandrivka. So small changes around here. The next frontline change is over at Andrievka. So where's Andrievka? Okay, further south of Andrievka, there is geolocation of Ukrainian forces on the northeastern part of Andrievka, which means that the Ukrainian forces in this area here have managed to capture some position, managed to push through, or basically they were always there, and then the Russian claims is now invalidated. So because there is this massive gray zone over here, which we cannot verify, whether the Russians are there or not, because we constantly have reports of fighting over at the Vishnevy region. So the next frontline change is over at Rozdolivka, over at the Sivers front. So just now we were further up north around here, this Sviatove front. We are now at Sivers front. At the Sivers front, there is a geolocation of Russian forces pushing towards Rozdolivka, and this this resulted in the frontline change with the Russian forces taking more grounds towards Rozdolivka. So this frontline change, and then the next frontline change is over at Kalinina. So this very obscene looking Russian front line is now chopped. Painful. So it feels rather painful there. The Ukrainians chop off this long thing, and now this is based on the geolocation of Ukrainian forces over in the western part of Kalinina, which means that the Ukrainian forces have re-entered this area here and hold this position. So Kalinina is not fallen yet; it still holds. Away from Kalinina, the next frontline change is over at the Avdiivka front. So this Avdiivka city at the Robotyne region. So this Novooleksandrivka and Robotyne is here, Novooleksandrivka is here. Russian forces have expanded their control massively around this area here. And so this is based on Ukrainian mapping from by Deep State UA. So the Russian forces have expanded their control around here, and they have basically expanded their control of their foothold within Novooleksandrivka. So there's a few major important points here. So at this tree junction here, this two junction is moving towards nowhere, but this is also where I used to say that the Russians should push through. In this area, the Russian forces have taken the two major tree lines, moving up in this direction, and over in the Novooleksandrivka itself, Russian forces have taken a further expansion of the foothold within the village. So the Ukrainians are probably holding a bit of a distance away. So and further south, the Russians also take this this important fortification in the south of Novooleksandrivka and expanded their control, moving towards the tree line that the Ukrainians may still be there or may not be there. So Ukrainians probably most likely is at this T junction here, but this one is a bit less certain. So that's as mentioned over at the Novooleksandrivka region. The next frontline change is over at Boyeda. So over at the Donetsk front, over in the southern part of Boyeda, this is already previously mentioned to be captured by the Russian forces. This because of Russian mapping. So Russian mapping have long ago has already declared this as captured. We just have the corroboration from based on this geolocation by Creamy Caprice confirming that the Russians have made this advancement south of Boyeda. So and the next frontline change further south from this area here at Paraskovievka. After yesterday's geolocation at on the western part of Paraskovievka, Russian forces is now geolocated at this tree line, expanding their control in this northeastern part of Paraskovievka. It's important to note that this part is confirmed capture because of the geolocation, but this area here is just a claim because we have no confirmation of the Russians taking this tree line yet. This is only claimed by the Russian mapping. South of Paraskovievka, we have geolocation just off Konstyantynivka. Russian forces has expanded the control because they have attacked in the direction of Konstyantynivka. So this makes a massive frontline change around here. Ukrainian forces are geolocated just north of this geolocated position. So this is definitely where the front line is right now in the south of Konstyantynivka. So there's something important to note. We are not certain if the Russians captured this entire tree line or not, but the fact that they are geolocated here, we just draw it in the triangle in this way. So we just have to continue to wait for more information. Ukrainians here. So that's all from Konstyantynivka. Further south towards Vodian, this is Vodian, Russian forces now geolocated at this area here. Massive distance advance around 1.5 kilometers. So along this highway, so Russian forces now has expanded their control in this direction, and it looks like the Ukrainian forces have been broken in this area here. The defense line has been broken. This comes after various frontline changes around in this western part of Solotke. Solotke is here. So with this sudden break, it looks like this line might have broken, and we might see a very fast advance from the Russians from now on towards the direction of Vodian until they hit this entrenchment around here. Possibility, not sure, because but ultimately this is a very huge front line. This front line is super huge. So we are talking about distance, this distance is around 3 kilometers. The entire front line around here is at least 10 to 12 kilometers. So it's not a small place, it's a huge expanse of ground. So but which also means that it is very difficult to defend, and a lot of places could be weak spots for the Russians to exploit. Moving away from this Vodian region, the last frontline change is over at Robotyne. So over at the Zaporizhia front, so this is Zaporizhia city, this is the Zaporizhia front at the Orikhiv sector of the Robotyne. The Ukrainian mapping finally conceded that the front line is now like this. The Russians have taken all this area here. This has been claimed by the Russian side for a long time. For based on some mappings, but it was never corroborated. So the latest we have is here. So, and of course, the fact that it cannot be corroborated, it also cannot be corroborated that it is under Ukrainian control. That's why the gray zone around here has been here for a long time. So with this change, the Ukrainians disclaimed this entire area. Russian forces, if in this area, is now getting closer and closer to where the Russian declared front line is. And there is this heavy major entrenchments around here that the Ukrainians have control of, but I'm not sure if the Ukrainians are there. So, and I'm not sure if the Ukrainians are able to hold these positions, as the Russians are already pushing out into this forest in one of the last last few reports ago. So anyway, that's all for the changes at Robotyne, and these are the Frontline changes report. I will reconsider how I do the sit rep or or whatnot in a way that is more entertaining and more people would want to watch. I will see how it goes, but it would also be a pity if I stop the situation reports. So I think about it, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Press the like button, subscribe.